Hello, everyone on Facebook and on YouTube. Good evening to you from Kiev, Ukraine. My name is Anu Ojo, and I'm welcoming you to another episode on the Pastoring Without Tears show. Well, it's always a great privilege and honor to be on your screens every Friday on this special show. As you join us today, I'd like to encourage you to please kindly share. If you're watching us on YouTube, you could share this video by clicking on the link, on the YouTube link, and you could share it on the platforms that you belong to. I mean, the social media platforms. And if you're watching us on Facebook, well, you could click on the share button right now and you could share this video straight to your timeline. Or if you belong to groups and you think that there might be one or two persons there that would benefit from today's video, it would be great if you could share this video to the groups you belong to. And also, I believe you have friends on Facebook who might find today's teaching beneficial in one way or the other. So it would be great if you can suggest this video to them by sending it to their inboxes. The point is, we want everyone as much as possible to join us for today's episode on Pastoring Without Tears. And if you're watching us for the first time, I want to gracefully welcome you to this show. Well, you might be asking, what is Pastoring Without Tears about? What is this show about? Well, this show is basically that program on Dr. Sunday Adelaja's platform where the truths, the values, and the principles of the kingdom of God is dished out to the body of Christ. Like I always say, we are here for the kingdom life. And everything we're doing is to bring the will of God to this earth as it is in heaven. And to do that, we definitely need to learn the truths of the kingdom. We need to learn the values of the kingdom. We also need to learn the principles of the kingdom for us to effectively fulfill God's call upon our lives. Many people call this show Living Without Tears, of which I don't object with them because life is for the kingdom. And that's why we're here. So if that is what you call it, well, you're definitely correct. And I want you to please go ahead and invite your friends. Today promises to be another interesting episode. If you were with us last week, I'm sure you would be excited about today's topic because last week we started an interesting discussion. But before I give a recap of that discussion, you know I'm not here alone. I have no other person but Dr. Sunday Adelaja in the studio. I would like to welcome him on the show. Good evening, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're very much welcome.
My pleasure.
Thank you for always gracing this show with your presence. I was saying that last week we had such a wonderful time. And I remember we touched on many subjects, though, many questions. I remember we started on the case of confusion and complexity, where I said some people would see a lot of your messages as and they reckon you as someone who is confused, and you explained that. And I think anyone who would like to understand the difference between confusion and complexity, as you explained, it would be good for you to go back to that video of last week. You could find the video by just going to Dr. Sunday Adelaja on YouTube and search for the Pastoring Without Tears playlist. Last week was episode 30. So, and that's how it's, so you see last week episode was episode 30, so you can watch it last week. Then we moved from that question, Dr. Sunday, last week, and I asked a question on why is a mega church necessary. And for me, it was a wonderful time because it was a learning experience for me. Well, every time with you, it's a learning experience. And I remember you took your time, as you always do, to explain why a mega church is necessary. And you defined two arms or two sides to a mega church. The quantity, a mega church as in quantity, mega in quantity, or mega in quality. And
I'm going to stop you.
Yeah.
For people who are listening, the story of a mega church is what this book they are looking at is all about. So this is the whole formation, the whole structure, and the whole inner system of how embassy of God functions.
Hmm.
That's what you find in this book. Missional information. It's not me who wrote it, but it's a research that was done by a professor. So for anybody who wants to build the church shift model church, this is like how to build the church shift model, or how to build the 21st century model church.
Hmm.
You know, what makes the embassy of God unique, make it the only kind of church like that in the world.
Yeah.
If you want to know the story, because I was not writing about myself, I couldn't do that, but a
Yeah.
professor came to
Came
me.
to do
And
research.
that thing you are talking about, mega church, how to build it, either from internal, from quality, and from quantity. These whole strategy, methods. This book is all about the method and statistics and methods and tactics in this particular book.
Wow.
And they could get it on Amazon, I suppose.
Well, thank you so much. Well, that's the book right there, titled Missional Reformation. Missional Reformation for Discipling Nations. And that title really just summarizes all you stand for. Because anyone who knows you would know you to be a reformer. And anyone who knows you will know that you're a man on a mission. And you're not the kind of person who just pastors a local church, but you are nation oriented. That's your target. So I don't know why he came up with this title, but this just perfectly describes Dr. Sunday Adilaja, a man on a mission, a reformer, and a one who disciples not just members, but is discipling a whole nation. So I think it's a book that we're talking about this earlier today, and I think it's a book I would definitely want to read.
And it's showing me and
Pastor Natalia. So
I think that is the way I and her will be standing there.
in heaven,
The two of us have really done what few human beings
have done. Yeah.
And God, she's a Jewish lady, and God connected a Jew, and a black in Russia.
Okay.
Only God could do that.
Fantastic. All right, so I would like to continue my line of thought. You talked about quantity and quality, and why quality and why quantity. Just a recap for our viewers. For
So do you want to do the recap?
oh, maybe we could move
Let
on
them go and watch it. A lot of other things
to
If
discuss.
you want to talk about effective numerical growth,
Yeah,
how to grow church effectively.
there are a lot of things to uncover. Okay,
That the,
and I know
whole
some
program will be too
I know
small.
some people are over hungry to get into it.
If you want to
Okay.
be doing recap, they will think you are not fair to them.
All right, no problem. I was considering a group of people, and I think we just have to put some balance into it. No problem. Today we're having another interesting topic. I think you can see it on your screen already, and it is the keys. You see, the keys to numerical growth in ministry.
This is the part 2.
Yeah, this is a continuation,
Okay.
but it's a different topic.
You tweeted the topic.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't put part 2.
No, we should let part 2 without. I think
It's a bit different, eh?
It's continuation. Last week
Okay.
was just some bits, but we could remove the part 2 because today we'll be talking more of the keys. Because you started last week by giving out the keys.
What was the title?
Last week it was about how to numerically grow a church in 21st century.
Okay, and today?
Is keys to effective numerical growth in
Okay.
ministry. Just some little
Okay.
changes.
But I want us to talk about the book I've just released.
Process.
Process is
That's
as important
important.
as the result. Or
Or
result
is the new process.
No,
Process is the new result.
is the new result.
Process.
Process is the new result. Well, that is what our country lacks. Process. We are not people of processes. We lack process. And that's why I'm very satisfied. I'm very glad that this book is finally released, because it's a book that will heal and cure a nation. We are a nation of people who are only addicted to results. We don't understand anything about processes. We are not taught processes. We don't recognize, we don't know it. And until we become a nation and people of process, even our people cannot compete. We have our students who are more intelligent in school than the white people. But when they come to the marketplace, they are not even competitive at all. That's why you see very few black people, African people, competing on a high level. They don't know processes. They don't love processes. So this book, I think, is one of the most important books that I've ever written.
And I personally look forward to reading it because I've seen how you apply the principle in your own life
Every day, yeah?
every day, and it would be great to have a holistic, the place where I can get it from A to Z and to read everything about the importance of processes. Well, I don't want to go so deep because I already have some thoughts in my mind, but I think it's a book everybody must get, and because I'm going to get the book and I'm going to.
Yeah, I think it's still out there for $3.
$3.
Yeah, as a what do you call it? As a pre-order.
Pre-order. Yeah.
So people who want to get it can still get it on Kindle right now this week for a cheaper price.
Great.
But the book we released last week. Have we shown that book?
On
The book we released last week on money, how to find money.
Somebody
has already read it too. In fact, I actually
that person is Swift.
That person, I think, is not just swift. I think that person is been waiting for such a book.
Hungry.
I think that person has been looking. Where can one find a book
That will answer this question.
that will answer this question? How do I find money
For my dreams.
and for my calling?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a book like that?
No.
And some people are saying DSA shouldn't be talking about that.
Well, we wish that we would look.
I don't know anybody who will write a book like this.
Yeah.
And the system that is in that book. Well, let me tell you, you will be shocked about the feedback and the comment, just one comment. And I really want to encourage everybody that is reading my books on Kindle, Unlimited, on Kindle, please go and comment. Leave your comment for any book you have ever read. So thank God that this person left the comment, because if he had not left the comment, I wouldn't have known. But for some reason, only the white people leave comments, mainly. I don't know what's wrong with our black people, why they are not leaving comments.
We're not taught.
Yeah, I think we are not taught.
We're not taught.
So because, I need to know that what I'm doing is blessing somebody, number one, but also it affects the rating of the book. But look at what this one has written here. After reading this book, he said the title is what? Scream, exclamation mark. What? A book like this? This after reading it all. What? Did I just read this? He cannot come to himself that. Did I just?
Is this for real?
Is it for real?
Is for real?
Is it for real? Did I just read this? Read it in 1 day or 2 days, because it just came out. And look at what the person is writing. After reading this book, you will be armed. He's telling people you will be armed and dangerous. That's it. Well, that's just the first thing he said. You will be armed
and dangerous. I concur.
You concur?
Oh, I concur big time, because I know what he's talking about.
You know what is in the book. You will be armed and dangerous. Then he began to write now. This book is so practical that when applied, the language he's using, you must succeed. He said you will. It's not you will succeed though, or you can succeed though.
You must. Wow. Well put.
You don't have any fact. You are condemned to succeed. You must succeed. Then he keeps on writing. There is so much. This is the one that will get you. This is the one that will get you. There is so much in this book that it seems like you have just read thousands of books in a short time, in one.
I said that to you.
Was it not yesterday?
Yesterday I was telling you that I said this exactly to you yesterday.
That every of Pastor Sunday's book is like.
It's like you have 1,000, 10,000 books in one. In one. A to Z in one. Exactly.
And you don't know who wrote this one. I was even thinking, are you the one who went to write it?
No.
Because how can you write this thing? Yes. How can you tell me this thing yesterday? And this, I'm going to open internet
Exactly.
today, and exactly the same thing they are
That's
saying.
yes. That's how your books are. There's no your books is the way you write your books is like if you take any book, you can be a professor. Sure, you will teach people who went through school studying that subject that thing on any book. I'm not
After spending 4 years in university,
after spending 4 years, even with masters, you will teach them
to just by reading
from
one
one
book.
book. You coach them.
This one said, this one book here, how to find money for your dream, is like reading
1,000 books in one. Yeah.
on this subject.
Well put. Yes. Yes.
And all the books are like that, each
All
one
the
of
books
them.
are like that. Yes. It's very correct. Especially for this book. Because I really feel I can imagine
So you can feel what this guy
I
is
can
feeling.
feel what he felt.
He said you must succeed though.
Yes. You must. There's no option. Yes. Yes. You must. Because it's your books are written in such a way that they are failure proof.
And it's not possible.
Yeah, and I like what he said. He said if you apply, you see, if you now add if you diligently apply.
Failure proof.
You are failure proof. You are failure proof. There's no how. You must succeed.
By the way, the book has become #1 in Amazon. Are you sure? Then the next one to become #1 will be on processes, because I really don't want that one to. I want every black one to read that
Okay,
one. On processes. We need to rewire our brain. You see, this is the one. Yeah.
Number one.
About the money, #1. Is that not a good thing?
Fantastic. I mean, I always say that your books. This one is even just like
Fresh.
It's not when the world gets to hand.
And the world get to know. The world doesn't know what is not
They don't
good
know.
yet.
And that's the reason why people who are opportune to follow you right now, they stand a chance to be giants in this generation.
Because they are accessing what the whole world is not even aware
They
yet.
don't know Dr. Sunday. From your books, anyone who would diligently sit down, study, just like the amazing, blessed young man of
Yeah,
yesterday.
yesterday. Oh no.
Yeah, Ololade.
Ololade, yeah.
If you will do your assignments, if you will
And
pay
be
the
thorough
price and
about
be
it.
thorough. No.
You'll become anything you want to become.
Anything. So I agree, and it's good that you read that from me, because it's good to hear
What other people that we don't know.
that
We don't even know who wrote this.
Because when I speak like this, people will think it's
because you are trying to
I'm trying
patronize
to
me.
patronize the book. I'm trying to say, but then you obviously what will Anu say is with Dr. Sunday now. They are both doing the book this thing together. So they will think he's
You are just doing it for myself.
yeah, just for a sake. But I can't fake it. It's true. But at least thank God for someone who the comment is right there on internet. Anyone who wants to read it can go and read it there. And someone that we don't even know, but is having the same experience. Well, that's the book right there. How to find money for your dreams. I really love what Dr. Sunday said on that. He said, if you have a dream, forget, the resources are already available somewhere.
And this book is to show you the steps to get to those races.
To get there. Great. So please order for this book. You can get it free. You can get this book free on Amazon Kindle. Unlimited, yes. Or you could order for this book on Amazon or Okada Books. Or you could write to Mrs. Chioma. She's in Nigeria. She's a distributor in Nigeria. Or you could write to our office here to order for the books in bulk. That is at DSAS, that's dsasbooks@gmail.com. One word, dsasbooks@gmail.com. All right, so Dr. Sunday, thank you so much for that review. I think that I hope, I prefer to say, I hope that stirs someone up to really get this book and read it. I just hope that will be the result. But coming back to today's subject, on the keys to effective numerical growth in ministry. Last week you gave one key. And you said, and that key, I remember when you said it, that I'm about to say something now. Some people will say I'm confused. But I'm not confused, no. No. And I remember you said the key is to walk in the miraculous. When you walk in the miraculous, you're going to attract people, and basically unbelievers, pagans, and things like that. So today, Dr. Sunday, we want more keys to numerical growth in ministry. Maybe I would give you the floor to start, and then I have some videos though, like 2 videos that I would like us to see today. But let me first throw the first question to you. When you started your church, the Embassy of God Church, I remember you talked about you having a vision where you had, I think it was a 3 days encounter with God, where
it was not like continuous.
Not continuous. Okay.
Just every day, every evening.
Every evening. Okay.
3 days consecutive.
Consecutive. Yeah,
it's
good.
Different.
Yeah. Okay, good. So I remember you said you had that encounter and you saw God maybe take you to a stadium, handed over to you the microphone, and told you to preach, and it was a massive crowd.
Yes.
So that is what a lot of people get excited by, because many people also have had similar visions.
Okay.
Maybe not similar as yours, which was ministry inclined like church, but many people
experience
have
many
people have had dreams, vision, prophecies, revelations. Some people say you're going to be a great child. Yoruba will say you're more local, you have a great destiny.
I have somebody in this room right now who came to me with similar dreams and revelations that he had, and he wanted to know my opinion because he saw himself with other men of God, and he went to pray, or they prayed for him, and he saw the great things he was doing. So he was saying, "What do you think about these revelations?" You can get my result. You can be my response. I told him, forget about it.
No, that's not what we want to hear, Dr. Sunday.
It's not that.
That's not what we want to hear. All you do is to forget about it. Well, why did you say you should forget about it, though?
Because there were so many variations of those dreams and those revelations, and he was transfixed on them. I needed to shake him off them. I needed to let him know that doesn't really mean anything by itself. So dreams, revelations, all those things that you get will not get, it doesn't mean anything until you go through the process and acquire the skills.
Beautiful. You're so much in sync with my thoughts. Like, I started that and I wanted you to say this, but it's great that you already said it before I even asked the question. So, because what I wanted to say is that, many people, they just revel in the fact that they have a vision, but then they don't know they don't know what's next. They just, yes, I know I'm going to have a great future. No, but you had that picture. I mean, the reality that of God Embassy as we have it was what you saw in your vision, but you were able to take it from that invisible realm, that
etherical,
that just place that you could not, is not tangible.
Etherical to empirical.
Yes. Better.
Ephemeral. From ephemeral world
to an empirical world.
Empirical world.
Yes. So, and I wanted to ask you, how did you do that? And you just gave the answer already. You must be ready to go through the process?
Well, when I was growing up, at that time, when I had that revelation, I was reading books like charismatic pastors' books.
Okay.
Kenneth Hagin, just kind of people like this. And what they will tell you normally is that if God wants you to do something, God has called you to do something, that you don't worry about it. He will bring it to pass.
That's what he told us to.
So that's what I was exposed to at that time. So but it helped me a little bit not to be nervous and anxious, to not to live in anxiety.
Yeah.
So I just realized, okay, if it is God, let him bring it to pass now. But that was it's a silly advice to tell people.
Wow.
That if God has said he will bring it to pass. Very silly advice. Because they don't tell you that you need to get yourself equipped and wired. The most important thing for you to be able to accomplish anything in life is the ability for you to give life to yourself, to rewire yourself, to re-engineer yourself, and to be able to inculcate in yourself, develop and build into yourself vital qualities that will form your personality, your inner man. And it is so, even though God will bring it to pass, but if you don't spend the time in the meanwhile, the intermediary or the intermediary time between when you got that revelation and the future that you are expecting, if you don't spend that time to equip your inner man, to build into yourself the qualities of the strength of character that is needed to be able to accomplish that thing, it will never come to pass. So you need to build into yourself qualities like perseverance, the ability to persevere and to survive pain and to create pain for yourself, and to be able to endure pain and to be able to survive it. You have to build that in yourself. You've got to also build into yourself persistence, the ability to keep on going when nothing is working out, to keep on going, to keep on knocking when everybody else has turned back. So that is another quality you have to build into yourself. You've got to build into yourself stamina to stand, to hold on. And those are muscles, those are inner muscles, those are inner energy, those are virtues of character, virtues of the soul. You need to develop your soul, and you need to be able to build those things into yourself, because once you start a ministry, even though God told you, and you will begin to find resistance, and if you don't have perseverance, you will just drop out and say, maybe it's not the will of God, it's something that is the will of God. Once you didn't build into yourself persistence, you will just discover that you are going, then you are not seeing anything. Nothing is happening. It's like God is not there. And without persistence, you just say, oh, sorry, I got a job. And, maybe I need to eat. So you will not be able to do it. For example, if you have not built into yourself stamina, for example, like I did, to be in the library every day for 6 hours. 6 hours every day in the library. 6 hours every day in the library. That stamina is now what I use. I can sit down like this. In 6 hours time, I will have written a book. Maybe not finish it, but I would have written a book. At least chapters, system. And with my system, I would have written a book in 6 hours. And I will not go anywhere. I can sit for 8 hours and not go anywhere. I can sit for 12 hours and not go anywhere. If not because of that stamina, I would not have been able to survive solitude. But that, building of that stamina in the library, they have helped me. So for example, when I started church and I was praying for 6 hours straight, if I had not built that stamina in between, I was not building them in the library, I was not building them in the seminary. I didn't build those character and that stamina, that perseverance, that persistence. I didn't build them in the Bible school. I didn't even have a church. I didn't even have a pastor. But I was building them in between in other places. So the value of character, the virtues, the the value system that you need to build into yourself, they are the things that will now determine, the measure of success that you are going to have on the field when you begin to do it. So if you didn't build those virtues in yourself of diligence, of excellence, if you have not become transfixed on those virtues, by the time you step out, you will never be able to produce. You will never be able to perform. You just be, and then another virtue you have to build inside is confidence and the ability to overcome fear, fearlessness, and faith in yourself. More faith in yourself than in God. If you have not built that, by the time you come to real situation, you will not have. You have a vision. You will not have enough belief to even start. You will be waiting for God to come and do it for you. Or you'll be waiting for people destiny helpers to come and help you. Or you'll be waiting for money. If you have not become a solution provider and a problem solver, by default, automatically, you have not built that energy, that muscle, and you want to go and marry. Nobody should marry without being an expert in solution provider and in problem solving. So when you go into marriage without that kind of preparation of inner content preparation, the content of character has not been filled. You have not given life to yourself. You have not formulated the best of qualities that will make you to be able to succeed as a family man. What you will discover is that you go into that marriage, and the next thing you are asking your wife to do is to go and work and go and look for a job and go and contribute 50%, and you'll be contributing. Why do men do that? Because they were not prepared. They didn't spend quality time before they saw a beautiful woman and ran after her to be able to make themselves quality proof, so that by the time they get into the real life situation, they are experts in resolving problems. They are experts in taking challenges on themselves. They are experts in carrying weight. They are experts in finding answers and finding solutions. So when they couldn't find solution, they begin to rely on the woman, becoming a body to the woman, making the woman, they don't even know what it means to be a woman or what it means to be a wife. And then you ask her to come and follow you and become your wife, and now you are sitting on her neck, and now you are demanding for her to go and work and to go and provide for the family together with you because you couldn't come, because you are not ready. So it's not just about, so why is it, and you want to, it is the quality and the measure of preparation and the virtues that you have been able to develop inside yourself, the core values that you have been able to intentionally cultivate. If you have intentionally cultivated that, then that is what gives you the stamina, the ability, the capacity to be able to go out there and produce some goods, or produce some product, or produce some services, and then be able to wither through the storms and the winds and the earthquakes and the whirlwind and the storms and the thunders and the flood and all the challenges of life, because you have built weight inside, you have built content inside, you have given life to yourself. So when it comes to book, for example, you get book and you have built in yourself the discipline to read a book in one day, to read a book in 1 week, to read 1, 2, 3 books, for example. That stamina makes you to be able to find solution everywhere to whatsoever need that you have. So, for example, you've built into yourself the capacity to lock yourself inside 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, just doing one thing that you're after. So once you face any challenge, you know how to do it. You go into that place, you lock yourself inside, you get the result, and you come out. That is how you become result getter later on in real life. But people who see you, they will only see the result. They will only see the factory, the product, the service, the goods, and the things that you have produced. But they don't know the process of forming content, of developing character, of discipline, the voluntary pain that you have endured. That voluntary pain has enabled you to be able to create in yourself the muscles, the endurance that it takes to be able to now go there and perform and not falter.
Wow. I'm charged up. Wow.
The thoroughness, the attention to details, the no, the not just the diligence, but the meticulosity, the ability to be meticulous, the ability to be able to analyze everything, the ability to go through the process, the ability not just to run after results, the ability to be detailed in process, the ability to build systems. So when I go to Nigeria, for example, and I say I'm going to resolve Nigeria's problem, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, people are, it's like I'm coming from another world to them, because I've spent all these years building things that other people have not built into them, because they have not built into them what I've built into myself. It's like I'm either mad, or I've lost my mind, or I'm coming from a different planet. Because it's not I'm coming from a different planet. I was born in Nigeria. I come from a less privileged background than all of them, but I've spent time in the closest, where nobody was saying, where nobody knew where I was. I have built quality, I have built content, I have inculcated in myself the best quality that men who have lived before me, thousands of years who have lived, that have developed ideas, concepts, and philosophies and paradigm that have been developed and created all over the world. I've taken my time to find out the reasons and the why. I've created, I've researched, I've investigated, I've seen the cause and the effect, and I've been able to discover that there are principles, there are secrets that are responsible for everything. And these things, I've been able to find them out where they are. I've been able to bring them, and I've been able to create my own philosophy of life, and I've been able to create my own my own philosophy, my own worldview, my own paradigm, my own way of looking at life. And that now is what is giving me the ability to be different from everybody else. Why? Because I spent more time than most people developing, inculcating, not making noise, not doing some visible thing, but invisible time, invisible hours. I've spent hundreds of, maybe 100,000 hours just in solitude alone. And if you spend only 10,000 hours doing one thing, Malcolm Gladwell says 10,000 hours is enough for you to be able to be the best in the world. But I've spent like 100,000 hours just in solitude alone in the presence of God. So I've made myself, every cell of my body, every cell, every tissue, every DNA, everything in me is equipped with some knowledge, with some untraditional, unstandard, resources that is impossible for one human being, one body to carry all these things. That's why I write a book every week. That's why I release a new book every week. That is even nothing compared to what is inside.
Wow.
Want to explode?
Wow. That's so kitty. That's so kitty. Wow. You always say this, and you said it. I don't know if anyone has really understood you when you say that there are really no failures in life. That there are no failures in life. There's no one who is a failure in life. No one was destined to fail. God did not create some people to succeed and others to fail. Everyone is destined to be great. But why are they failures? Why do we have the world filled with people who are mediocres and failures? Why is it that only 3% of our world at the top are the ones who are ruling the world, while the remaining 97% of people are barely surviving? And you continued with your quote by saying that there are no failures in life, but there are only those who either don't know what it takes to be successful, those who don't know the laws of success, those who don't know all of these things you just shared right now, all of these things that you've just released from your spirit to us right now. For those who don't know this, then their failure is explainable. But you didn't stop there. You went ahead to say that, okay, there are no failures in life. There are only those who either don't know what it takes to be successful, or there are those who know, but they are not willing to pay the price that success demands. And with all that you've explained, I just feel like this is the truth that the whole world needs to hear. We all need to know that we shouldn't be waiting for God to fulfill the dreams, the callings, the purpose, the vision He has given to us. But we should rather pay the price to understand and to learn and to research and to get a hold of all of what you just explained, all of those processes you just talked about, to not just learn them, but to pay the price to imbibe them and to give life to ourselves, to recreate ourselves, to regenerate ourselves. You always say that, you see, you had no role to play in your birth. It was your parent that gave birth to you. You had no role in the environment you were giving birth to. You played no part in the condition of your birth. But the responsibility to become anything after your birth is on no other person but yourself. And that's why we all, and I'm speaking to myself as I'm speaking right now, that we all must give life to ourselves. We must become very serious, intentional, purposeful about recreating ourselves. And also be willing to pay the price that success demands. If not, we'll just be daydreamers. People who would just be living in a fantasy world, believing that one day, like Nigerian creators will say, one day it will be better, or
by God's
grace, or we say God's willing, if God will have it. But what you just explained to us Dr. Sunday, that I felt that was coming directly from your spirit, is that God is just telling us that why are you wasting away? Why are you wasting your life? Why are you waiting for me? Why? Do your work. Do what you need to do. And then we'll see if I wouldn't show up where I need to show up. But what we rather do as religious folks is that we just want God to just do something. His grace to just make a way for us. His miraculous hand to just come and just do some permutations in our destiny. And then just shoot us to where we dream to be without us going through the process. And that is why this book I'm saying right now on the screen is a book not just for now, but it's a book for years and for generations to come. This book right here, the process is as important as result, is exactly what you've been sharing with us. There is one thing to have a vision, to see that God has a great destiny for you, but it's another thing to go and be willing to pay the price of going through the process that will lead you to that result. Dr. Sunday, Jesus Christ said, I have come that you may have life and have it in abundance. And I remember I said to you, I think maybe 2 weeks ago, and I said that there was a solitude I went into, and I felt like, I think it was a solitude of my birthday, and I said I felt like I'm giving life again, like I'm being given birth to again. But that's exactly what your teachings and the truths, the principles, and all of the things that you're releasing to us in forms of your books, in forms of your teachings, in forms of your articles, they are life givers. And they are tools that anyone who is really serious about giving life to himself, he doesn't need to suffer anymore. He doesn't need to grope in the dark anymore. That person doesn't need to go through the stress of wanting to scavenge for possible resources that he can use to give life to himself. But if the person will just take a hold of first your YouTube channel and go and sit down and listen to all those videos
Series by series.
series by series. I mean, simple example, if you missed, dear viewers, if you missed yesterday's show with a young man from Nigeria, it's called Enyade or Ololade. Yeah, Ololade. If you missed that show,
what was it called? I can now say
I am a friend. I know God and I am a friend of God.
Okay.
I can now say I know God, I am a friend of God. Please, I'm begging you, I beseech you, that you should go out and watch that video.
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Even on Facebook. Huh?
It's on YouTube and on Facebook too.
Okay.
Go out and watch that video, and you will understand what it means to not just be a follower of DSA by mouth,
or just commenting,
on social media, or just saying DSA, you're my mentor. But that young man who he has never called into any of our shows, never commented, he never watched the live show. I don't even see him. I've not even smelt him near.
You never knew he even existed.
But when you hear that guy, if you're not challenged by his life, I'm not even saying by those words, but if you are not challenged by his life, then I don't know what will challenge you, especially if you're a DSA family member. So I want
it's a definition of what it means
to be
a follower
of DSA. He's a model, actually.
Standard, like the way things are supposed to look like.
Yes. He's a model, the kind of attitude you need to listen to Dr. Sunday, the kind of approach, the system you have to build. Everything. So I'll just say that I said that just by the way, just to help people understand what it means to listen to what Dr. Sunday just shared. Because for me, Dr. Sunday, those answers you just gave now, I feel like it needs to be caught. That part needs to be caught, because the way I felt while you were speaking is the same way I feel when you were giving that charge to the American church, where you were saying if your gospel is not good enough to change the direction and the focus. Anytime I listen to that video, I feel like God is talking to me, and I know what I feel within me. That's exactly how I felt while you were speaking now. There's really something deep in what you just shared right now that can really chart the course for the life of anyone.
Basically, what I just talked was just the processes that produces the visible results.
Yes.
And it's a good time that we release this book at this particular time, and we are talking
about it. Everybody has to get that book. Well, this is fantastic. I would like to announce first.
You might need to give to the team to cut it out. And
yes,
we will have to come up with the title for it.
Yeah, I think we will do that. I will speak to him about it. I want to announce to our viewers, if you would like to call in, we've not started answering the question for today, but we're going to do that anyways. But if you would like to call into the studio, you can. You just write to us at Move Agents. So just go to Facebook Messenger, search for Move Agents, and write to us that you would like to call into the studio. Towards the end of today's program, we'll give you the opportunity to call in to share your thoughts, to share your contribution, and to ask questions if you do have questions. And also, as you're watching us, if you have questions, feel free to write your questions on the comment section. I might not get your questions answered today, but we have the Ask Dr. Sunday show program where we ask all these questions.
Every Saturday, right?
No, every 2
Okay.
Saturdays. Yeah. So then you can get your answers from there. All right. I would like us to watch a video, so that we just let's have the first video, and then we're going to have another question for you. I know you love questions, so that's what I'm here to do.
Yes, we have a whole HMT on the art of questioning.
Questioning.
And soon a book will come out on why question is important.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, so let's have the first video.
Do you close the sector of your church to use them to tell them?
Yes, if you don't close the back door of the church, you will not be able to build a 10,000 or 20,000 or 25,000 member church. So to be able to build the church where we have been able to build, you've got to be able to do that. The best way I know to do that is to make sure that people who walk into your church are not just being viewed as congregants or as members who should come every Sunday to listen to you preach and give their tithes and do what you tell them to do. For you to close the back door of your church, you must have a new philosophy. And that philosophy must be like this. I, as the senior pastor of this church, I am here to help these people become whoever they want and they wish to become, or whoever God wants them to become. You must begin to see yourself as only a slave and a servant, or as I call myself, you must see yourself as a bridge for people. What bridges do is that they lie down and cars, lorries, trucks, human beings pass over them. You must be willing to let people use you. And so many ministers today don't want people to use them. If you don't want people to use you, then you are not ready for ministry yet. So you must become a bridge or a ladder. Let people climb on you to their destinies. That is how you close the back door of your church and ministry.
Right. Great. So that is a video. I want to believe that you guys heard it. I think
I think people will need to listen to it over and over
and over.
If they are really serious, of course. But some people just say, okay.
I get it. You get it once and that's it. But it's an error anyways. For anyone to think that you got it once, you've missed it. All right, to Dr. Sunday, let's get you shared some things in that video already. And thank God for pastoring without tears, because I feel this program gives you the opportunity to even be more elaborate on certain things that you give just brief answers to. For example, with this. So last week we had one key on the miracles, and we want to learn more on how to grow a church, but this time quantity-wise. We're going to have some other programs on quality. I have that already in plan, but this is for quantity now. Keys to effective numerical growth in ministry.
You want me to give the keys?
Oh, yes.
I will need my iPad then, because I have to be systematic about it. I have to.
Please, already.
Because you want me to give keys, there has to be a lot of keys right now that I don't know even if we have enough time.
We just give as much as we can.
So I should just rush through.
No, maybe not rush through. No, don't rush.
I should just make a list, just mention them.
Yeah, maybe
without commenting.
you mention them, and then if we have time for you to capitalize on one or two of them.
Okay, talking about numerical growth, I will just give principles.
All right.
I would rather give principles. There are also, these are strategies I'm going to give, principles, strategies, but not tactics, not too many details. Okay. So the church that will grow, first of all, must be community-centered. Community-centered. So if you need any explanation anywhere, you stop me. So what does that mean? That means that they must meet the needs of the town and of the city or the community where they are located. So they must make a list of, if I am in Nigeria, for example, what are the problems of Nigeria? If I'm in Lagos, what are the problems of Nigeria? What are the most prominent problems? What are the most visible? What are the problems that are torturing people holding people to ransom the most. And I must target myself and build the structure of the church in such a way that all our activities is about resolving them. I'm not talking about going to just go and do evangelism or going to just do, crusade. I'm talking about building systems, to bring solutions, lasting solutions to those things. So let's say corruption in the country is one of the problems of Nigeria. So I must build a church in such a way that our church is bringing an end to the problem of corruption in the country. So let's say it is hunger and poverty. My church must be built in such a way that, like Jesus did, he saw hunger, he provided solution. So I must also create a system that will end hunger in my society community. So that's one. Number two, that same point, a church must be able to resolve the problem of the society. Matthew 25, that's exactly what Jesus was saying. I was naked, I was hungry, that is ministry. That's what Jesus was telling us right there. Jesus was hungry, naked, in prison, in hospital, and he said, you either attended to me or you are not. And we are the body of Christ. That's exactly what we are supposed to be doing. Okay, so number 2 point. Churches that will grow must be radically committed to save their cities and the world. They must be radically committed to changing the world. To bring salvation to the world and to their cities. You must be addicted by the concept of turning the world upside down. You must be a fanatic about that. So you must always keep on developing concepts and ideas that will bring that about. That is why I always say that I'm not a pastor in Ukraine or Embassy of God Church. Embassy of God Church is like my platform. It's like my pulpit. My auditorium, my audience is the whole nation. I am discipling nation. I am turning the nation upside down. I am giving direction to the nation. I am giving instruction to the nation. I am discipling the nation. So anybody that really wants to grow, you need to do that. That's what the Bible says, that Jesus came to seek and to save the lost. That is being radically committed to transformation and salvation of your city. So that, and for you to do that, you must be able to come out of the four walls of the church, and you must only see the church as a platform. Your activities must not be limited to church. You should only see church as homekeeping. Your activities, all of them, 80% must be focused on the world. Your finances, 80% of them must be focused on getting people saved and redeemed. All the ministries that we have, 80% of them must be based on the world. Focus on the world. And only maximum 20% are focused on the church. But today, it's all the opposite. Yeah. Most people don't even do 20%.
Yeah.
So, next one. These churches and leaders are supposed to be strategic thinkers. These pastors, people who lead it, they must be strategic thinkers. That means they must constantly think of ways to get themselves to that place where people are. It doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how anointed you are. If you are not where people are, people are not seeing you, people are not hearing you, you are useless. If no matter how anointed you are, if people don't know that you are there, and the product that you are producing for them, you are providing for them, the services that you are providing for them, if they don't know that, okay, so let's say somebody is looking for ice cream, and you have ice cream, you are selling ice cream, but you are looking for even buyers, but nobody knows about it. Even though people are dying of trying to eat ice cream, but because you are not out there where people are, you are not knocking on their doors, you are not, asking them if they need it, you are not putting in their face. Until you do that, you are not relevant. The reason why there is no revival in Western world and European countries is because the system has succeeded in locking them out of the mainstream, of the media, of places where they could have, of the marketplace. The society has been able to lock them out of the marketplace. But you have to struggle. You have to think of ideas to put yourself right in the mind of the people, in the marketplace. You have to be there. That's what is making churches grow in Africa. People, churches and pastors, they are right there in people's life every day. That's why church is in the center of attention of people. But if a society like in Europe succeed in locking church out, or the voice of reformers out, or church, that's it. The country will be dead. It's not because it's Africa, it's not because of anywhere, but you must know this strategy. That's why before Jesus goes to any city, Jesus always sent people ahead of him to go and proclaim and do things and make things happen. Even if Jesus enters this city today and nobody knows, no revival will come. And Jesus knew that. So he needed, even though he's Jesus, even though he's anointed, even though he's second on the Trinity, but until people know, nothing happens. That's why you must be a strategic thinker, always thinking of how to impose your presence upon the city. That's the kind of church that will grow. But you see, I don't like to give all these strategies because I'm afraid that people will listen to this without listening to the first part, and without listening to the other parts, other parts of pastoring without tears, that where we have talked about most important things. Because these are strategies. And people can just take this and go and use them and have results, but they are not having personal relationship with God. But they don't know that we are talking about that. They don't know that we are talking about solitude. They don't know that we are, these are mechanisms. These are easy. These are the easy things. But I'm always careful not to talk about these things because I don't want people to just come and use, things to go and again be doing their own thing, building their own empire. Huh?
Yeah, to do evil with it.
To do evil with it. So I don't know if I should stop.
Some of us. Okay. Maybe you just give one more. Let's be benevolent. let's just give one more. Then we're going to open the line for people to call it.
Okay. Another thing the person must do, if you really want to make your church to grow, you have to divide your society into people groups. And build a system of penetrating into them. So, for example, you have market women, build a system for them. You have youth and mechanics, build a system for them. You have people in Alaba market and other people know how to penetrate there. You have migrants from Togo, from Benin Republic, build a system for them to penetrate. Build system of penetration
for different
into every sphere of your city. I have about 20 more.
20 more.
Just like I'm afraid, I'm being cautioned by spirit.
I get it, and that's why I wouldn't push further. But
you can only give these things to sincere, honest people who love God, to God lovers.
Yeah. Who will use it for
or put it in a book. But they will not read it. only people who are serious will read books. Only people who read books. Who are hungry will read books.
Yeah, but factually speaking, though, Dr. Sunday, I remember last week when you said that the first point you gave is already enough.
Yes.
Well, now you're giving like 5-6 more points. So I think you've done a great deal of job by giving us at least that 7 out of 20 or even more. All right, so I would like to announce to our viewers right now that you can write us if you want to call in, because we'll be opening the line for you to call into the studio before the program ends today. So please, as usual, you just need to go to Facebook Messenger and search for Move Agents. Move Agents on Facebook Messenger. Search for Move Agents and write to us. Please don't call in, but just write to us that you would like to call in, and we will call you. And if you have a question for Dr. Sunday, please feel free to write it on the comment section. The team would go back to the comment section to get your questions, and we'll be asking it during the Ask Dr. Sunday shows that I host. All right. So, and if you've not shared this link, I would like to encourage you to please go ahead and share. A lot of things that have been shared today, and I want to believe that is going to be a great benefit to a lot of people. So it would be great if you.
But these things I shared today, they are all processes.
They are all processes. Yeah.
Like in this book.
Yeah.
But in Nigeria, in Africa, they don't teach you processes. They tell you pray.
Yeah.
Or fast.
Or declare.
Proclaim. Or say it.
Yeah.
Prophetic declaration.
Yes.
Or let's go and see Papa.
Yeah. To anoint you.
To lay hands on you. and let the anointing for growth come.
Yes, that's what they do. That's what they do, sir. They don't teach all these things, or no.
But these are processes.
But these are things.
Or they can teach them in such a way that, okay, go and when people are coming to the church, make them make a list of their problems. Give them a paper. Let them write it. So when they write it finish, you will just go and take the office. There, the office will gather it to you, and then you have it on your pulpit when you are preaching, and you tell people, there's somebody here by the name of Mary. You are 34 years old. You have fibroid. Yeah, you'll be married for 7 years. Those are the kind of tricks they are teaching them. Or go and rent people. Like Chris Oyakilome. He will buy wheelchairs, and then he will go and tell people to go and hire 5 or 6 people. Let them sit over there and they are sick. So that, then when the things start, the miracles start, let them jump up, all over a wheelchair, lie down. They will get their money. So you say, why do you do that? Oh, you need to do that because you are building the faith of people. When people begin to see, all those people coming out of wheelchair, their faith will explode. The miracles will begin to happen. They need to help them. That's what Okafo, all of them. Okafo, Suleiman, Ngila.
Yeah, all of them. That's what they do.
The South African guy, Bushiri, Lukao.
All of them.
Arinji.
Arinji.
Those are the kind of things they are teaching one another. They don't want to go through the process. They want shortcut. And they just want quick results.
Yeah.
They want to get something for nothing. They want instant gratification. They are children of perdition. They are adulterous generation. They are evil men in the pulpit.
And I mean, it's all a wasted effort, because at the end,
no, because of the gullibility of the people don't analyze.
That's true, though. It's true.
So at the end, they will just say, my day has not come. So at least other people are testifying now.
Yes, and you see that kind of stuff. Why are you doubting
the own will be the next one by the grace of God.
Yes. And if you're beginning to apply critical thinking, they'll say, why are you doubting the supernatural?
Yes, or they will tell you are carnal.
You are
not spiritual. You are secular.
Yeah, spiritual things that can only be discerned by spiritual. Yeah, just come up with different things.
And they are soldiers. They have their they call them leaders. Their foot soldiers are there in the congregation telling you, no, this man. They will be hunting for you everywhere. They will be inviting you. You think they care for you. You don't know they are caring for the GO.
and for their own small parts.
Yeah, their own small part.
Their own small part.
They want favor. They want a position.
Wow. I don't know if we have callers already. Yeah, we have callers. Let's get them into the studio. We'd like to hear from them. But while we're preparing the callers, let me just quickly announce the books that you can see right there. The first book that is just close by there is the book entitled "How to Find Money for Your Dream." Okay, and then this new book that is "Process is as important as the result." Please do go to get these books. You could order for them on Amazon, or you could get them free by subscribing to Amazon Kindle Unlimited, and you could read this for free. You could order for it on Okada Books also, if you would like. And I'd like to announce also for the next History Makers training. The next History Makers training, just in 2 weeks. 2 weeks it's here already, from the 8th to the 12th of April. 8th to the 12th of April. If you are within the European Union and you have the opportunity to travel to Ukraine without visa, you can still register. This HMT is going to be on systems, and I'm looking forward to this HMT. The title of the HMT is "How to Build Systems for National Transformation." How to build systems for national transformation. So if you would like to register, if you have the capability to travel to Ukraine without visa, you could just go to sondelajablog.com/HMT. sunday@blog.com/hmt for you to register, or you could write to us at hmt@godembassy.org. hmt@godembassy.org. Would get your mail and would view the correspondence with you if you have a question. So we have some callers already. Let's get our callers in to the studio. And if you've not shared, please, I would encourage you to go ahead and share. As we always say, share, share, share. All right. Thank you so much. So we'll have our callers right now. Okay. So, good evening, caller.
Yeah, good evening, brother. How you doing?
This is Bro Alfred.
You need to speak directly into your microphone and make it.
You guys know my voice.
Yeah, speak louder and right into your microphone, please.
Sure. How are you guys doing?
Oh, this is good. I knew you were going to call. I just sense it in my spirit, and I always appreciate your effort to do that.
Yes.
DSA, I don't have no choice. I have to follow what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, DSA, all the things that you guys have been sharing is just
Yes, you have to be consistent in making the microphone close to your mouth.
Oh, okay. Everything you guys have been sharing is amazing. It's mind-blowing. I just don't even know where to start. First of all, the book on how to find money for your dream. That book is something else.
Have you started reading it or what?
I'm reading it the second time.
No! Are you the one who left the comment on Amazon?
Yes.
Fantastic. I thought it was a white man because it's only white people that would normally leave comment on my something. Americans.
Well, I live in a developed country.
Wow, I'm so happy you did it. Now, tell us about it's like reading. Yesterday we were talking here just around the table. We were fellowshipping in the night, and somebody asked Anu a question. And why is it that Pastor? Because and Anu used to tell me that I didn't want to just read what we have been told, not just to have one person as your mentor. Read other people's books. But he was always saying, the more I read other people's books, the more I discover I'm wasting my time. Because in one of Dr. Sunday's books, it's like I've read 100 books. Yeah. But yesterday, somebody asked him the question. He said, one of Pastor Sunday's book is like 1,000 books you have read.
And that's exactly what she said.
And you then went and wrote that.
Yep. That's exactly the feeling I had when I finished that book. I finished that book, my head expanded. And I said, anybody everywhere need to look for this man's book, every one of them. And I am pleading to people, please. Because somebody made a statement. It says that what took somebody several years, 10, 20 years to write from their experience, you can read it off their book in a short time. And then I read that book. That was your first book that I read. I read that book.
This How to Find Money?
Yes.
It's the first book.
I read that. Go ahead.
It's my first book you are reading?
It's your first book I'm reading. I've watched a lot of your videos, but none of your book.
Wow.
Yes. I read that book. I told myself, I said, I have to go into a solitude or something, but I'm in school full time. So I said, I have to read until, like crazy. I started reading Church Shift. Oh my God, Dr. Sunday, if there's any way I could tell people they should look for these books and digest them. Because, in this book, How to Find Money for Your Calling, the book will, first of all, it will address the area of dreams. But it will not stop there. It will address the area of ideas. It will not stop there. It will address the area of time management, the importance of time. It will even go into analyzing how you can have an effective time management. It will address the area of discipline. It will address the area of self-worth and values. It will address the area of truth. The book will go ahead and address the area of character, personality, and then it will go ahead and address of the area of your talent, your potentials, and how you can practicalize on them, how you can use them. I mean, by the time you're going through that book, I went through that book, I just saw every dream, every vision so real.
You know what,
Wow.
I used to publish my books in America.
Yes.
You know what they told me? I don't know if I told you. What they told me is that, Dr. Sunday, you are writing your books. You don't write books like this. I said, why? They said, because from every one of your books, we have to do 10 books.
Yep.
10, 20, we can do 20. They said that's the way people do in America. They said if you act like, for example, Rich Dad, you say you just be repeating Rich Dad, Poor Dad or something. You just be repeating everything in different ways. But the same thing, you'll be adding water.
Yep.
You'll be diluting it and selling it, reselling the same thing, but different titles. People will buy you. That is the way market is in America. That's what they are telling me. But you are putting everything in one book. You are losing money. You are losing money. Don't put everything in one book. That's what it is. I said, but I love people. I'm writing for people. I don't want them to waste their money. I want them to get more than they could ever negotiate for.
No. I told you the other day, I said America is capitalistic. So it's about maximizing your profit. It's not about making people. It's not about some of the things you're talking about in this program, pastoring without tears. It is so many things I can comment about. Okay, just let's stay on the book. On the book, by the time it starts telling you how to find monies, I call that one now how to find different monies.
Wow.
Because all the things you already said, that's enough for you to have the resources that you need. If you take the goal that you want to achieve and use the Benjamin Franklin method and break the goal down, you can use only your own resources, and before you know, you are getting what you want. And if you start getting what you want, the other things will align with that. So that already, I said the other kind of money that you want, come on now, think about it. Are there people who have done something like similar to what you're about to do? Are there people who have the same dreams like what you're doing? By the time all these things, you put them together, it is not even that. I mean, it's so possible, so easy. I've been beating myself like, why didn't I know and do some other stuff? Yep.
I and Dr. Anu were talking that this book here, How to Find Money for Your Dream. I said maybe you, because I've not read every book in the world though, but I doubt it if there is any book like this in the whole wide world. I doubt it.
There is no book. There is no book. Dr. Sunday, listen to me. I read Miles Monroe book. Living in America, I've read books about potential. I've read book about, in America, you have this saying, how to live the American dream.
Yes.
You have the sayings on how to be debt free. So we have books like that. But the thing is, let me say this to you. The thing is, none of them has the process how to go about it.
No process. Okay.
No process. No practical. It's not practical. None of them has that. And so because of that, you read the book, you have the ideas. So they are selling the ideas, but the ideas are not real.
They are not practical.
They're not practical. And I told my wife, when I read the book, I told my wife, I said, if a pastor is preaching this in a church, why do you think he will have problem with members?
No.
Yes, if a pastor is preaching this in a church whereby you're working towards your members realizing
their
dreams.
You will attract all kind of members. White, yellow, black,
you
blue.
will be driving people away because, I mean, even if you have 4 people in your church, but you make them become what they want to become. I mean, what else are you talking if you're a pastor? You wouldn't be satisfied.
Now you are beginning to unveil the secret of DSA. Why DSA is able to have all white church.
Yes. That's what I said. This is exactly what is missing in the world over. People will tell you how they did things, but the way, okay, look at what you said in the course of this program, the process. People don't have this process. People just have principles and they have formulas and they have technique.
Without processes.
There is none. So At the end of it all,
Process.
we are building buildings to attract people. We have programs, we have music, we have all of this stuff to attract people, but the
Process.
substance is not there. You know, we have internet in this country, we have
Process.
resources, we have everything. You listen to some of the things that the pastors are saying, you go online, do your research, somebody just put a bubble through that. The whole of that stuff that your pastor preached is already wrong.
Yeah.
But you can't question him because you don't have access to do that. And so the pastor is thinking he's doing fine, but his members are just looking at him and smiling that we know what the truth is.
Yeah.
Look, the church that I used to attend in Houston, where I used to live at, our pastor was emphasizing about first fruit. And then I went online, did some research about first fruit. I discovered that it's a total lie. I hadn't known you then.
It's a scam.
So I took the video, I sent it to the pastor's wife, I sent it to the pastor, watch this video. He gave all the points about first fruit. First fruit is not in the New Testament. They never watched it. Today, they are still emphasizing people should do first fruit.
No, but get to the book and tell us what happened to you when you began to go through the point. And that
So
chapter, is it chapter 6?
when I read the
how to
book,
turn
and
the
I'm
ideas
still
into
reading the book now.
How to turn the ideas into money. When you begin to get there.
That chapter.
Yes. So when I got to how to turn the ideas into money, this is what I realized. I realized that first of all, I have to have my dream. I have to prove my dream, remove all the questions, look at all the loopholes, answer all the questions, break down my dreams into little segments, put it in a time frame, start
No, don't tell us. Don't give us. I just want to hear what you felt, your feelings, your emotions, your impression as you are going through all those eye-opening points.
Pastor Sunday, my head became bigger. I saw myself that I can accomplish anything.
That is what you just told me yesterday,
Exactly.
Dr. Anu.
That's what I said.
Dr. Anu, is that what you said?
Yes, when we have the position. You can't
read that book and not know that any goal, you can achieve anything, any goal, and find money for
I
it.
said I can achieve anything. And
Show
then
the
I asked
money
myself, all those dreams that I've had, they are going to be realized.
Sorry, say that again.
I told myself, all those dreams that I've had in years, that I finally discovered a way to have them realized.
Oh, good.
Yes.
One book, through one book, how to find money for your dream.
Yes. That book is enough. That book by itself is a manual. It's a manual. That's what I said. If you read that book, you're armed and dangerous.
Yeah.
Armed and dangerous.
Yeah. It's a manual because it's step by step. And now think about it if you go through DSA's books, because there are other titles. The guy that was talking yesterday, I said, if only he can read the book that says how to find money for your dreams, the things that he's even trying to do, it will be nothing.
He has not read that book yet. That book is not in Nigeria yet.
Yes, it will be. I already pre-ordered the other book, Process, because it's on pre-order at Amazon. I already pre-ordered that one, but I just have to get Amazon Unlimited and just read until I can't read no more. Because Dr. Sunday, what you said earlier, where you said people have not understood the time that was put in and the effort and the process and everything. That's the thing the Holy Ghost has been telling me since I met you, that there is a process, there is a time, there is things that you need to do. It's not just a matter of trying to know Dr. Sunday and understand some techniques, that there are things you need to work on yourself, and you just prove that.
That is the process.
Yes.
And I'm happy this book, Process, came out, because that is exactly the process that people don't talk about. And then so you discover that you have a vision and a goal, but you don't know how to get from A to Z.
No, you don't. You don't. See, our pastors are looking for ways to make their church grow. But you had a series where you talked about how to be relevant or how to adopt a nation, the nation that you are in. Yeah. That series by itself tells you wherever you are, have you adopted it? You are living in a culture, I don't care if it's abroad or it's local, But wherever your church is, how have you adopted that place?
Yeah.
You are just there in that place as if you are. And then there's this thing that they think that Christianity is supposed to be separate from the world. That's one of the things that's killing us, Pastor Sunday.
Right.
I'm not gonna. It's too much to talk about. Let me let
You
the
wanted to say something just now.
Yes, I said the fact that people, pastors, have not looked into the aspect that for church to grow, it needs for you to know how to adopt the culture or the society you are living in. It's very important also.
Yeah. Well,
I'm at work. I'm going to leave you guys, but thank you so much.
You know, you are always right on, dot on. You are always just spot on. And I want to thank God for your life. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Ojo.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Great. I mean, it's beautiful to hear this testimony, this witness from people that this is for real. This is for real. And only if people would, I always tell you, Dr. Sunday, when I have the opportunity to, that I was pastoring before I met you, and I was also very radical about listening to many men of God. I've listened to name them. I've listened to their messages. But when I found the truth that you are teaching, my case is like the guy who found a treasure
in a
field, and he went back. I imagine like a madman. He ran like a madman and started selling everything that he had. He sold everything that he had just to get that field. That's my own experience. I threw away respect all of them, but please.
You pack load.
I just pack. I pack all and I just pick race to just because you find a treasure where all your answers are located, and I'm like, so why would I be going back and be checking that other place? I don't need to. I just sell all that I have to get this treasure and to soak myself in it, to be overwhelmed with it. And that's exactly for anyone who is really interested. Our next caller, we're ready to get our next caller.
For anyone who is
interested in really becoming who God would have him to be, that person should just don't like what many people say. Don't like Dr. Sunday. Don't even claim that you are his follower. Don't even recognize him that he's anybody. Don't even think. Don't even do anything to him. Don't even just make sure that you go and listen to all of these messages that he's giving out. Read these books. That's all. You don't have to even associate yourself with him, but don't miss out on it. We have a caller already. Hello, good evening, caller.
Good evening, this is Derek from Cameroon.
Oh wow, all the way from Africa. I'm always excited to hear callers from homeland.
Great.
Greetings, GSA.
Thank you, sir.
As I always say, if I was in the studio, I would sit on your lap. I am so grateful for everything you're doing, and the excitement is much. And concerning your books, I don't need to read all. I've read about 3.
Yes.
And it has set me on fire already. So me, I'm already on the run. I'm running. I'm running with intensity.
That's the spirit.
Because of just what I learned from you on intensity. I'm a writer, so I wrote a book in 5 days.
Wow.
I was really surprised with myself.
Wow.
And as I always say, you are doing a kind of thing God asked me to do, but because I did not have an example in front of me,
Yes.
I was beaten hands down. And then coupled also the kind of spiritual leaders that we had here who just took us away from the world. It's like they just switched off the light.
Yes.
Completely. And got us busy with nothing.
With church activities.
Yeah.
I call it nothing. Just
Yes.
got busy with nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful that I met you. and what you're doing has really given me a push. And I'll give a testimony because by the time I learned from how to regain your lost life, your lost years, I learned that everybody has something that God has put in them through which they can make meaning in their society. And not just myself, I've started bringing out my potentials, but I also decided to approach others on the basis of what they have in them that could be brought out and used to make the society better. And I have come to discover that quoting the Bible each time you are preaching doesn't give as much result as when you go to people who love and trying to tell them that there is much in them that society is waiting for.
Beautiful.
Today is one of my best days because I have spoken to a lady today, and this lady is the kind of lady you can say is high class. And we normally look at them and think that they don't have needs or they are satisfied or they are fulfilled.
That's true.
But I just went to her and I told her that, do you know you have a lot in you that this nation is waiting for? She didn't believe it herself. I told her that there is so much in you. When I look at you, I see so much that you have that if brought to the surface, you yourself will be surprised. And like Job, I came back from work, giving her an assignment, and she's happily saying that she will go and do it so that she could discover what she has, and then we begin to exploit it to see how it's going to help the society around us. This idea is from GHA, and I'm very grateful that I met you. And what you said today at the start of the program is what I started working on. Actually, that preparation is very important before battle. You don't just get up and you start fighting. You have to prepare before. And I learned this, which is what I wrote in that book I told you I wrote in 5 days. So the title of the book is Taking Back the Land for God. And I learned it from Abraham that when Lot was captured, the Bible says in Genesis chapter 14 that he took his prepared servants that were already trained, and then he did not stay in one place praying, but he took these servants that were already trained and he went after those who captured Lot. Whereas in Africa, what we do is we know that the enemy has captured Lot. Our destiny is at stake. Our nature, our countries are under siege, and all we do is pray.
Wow.
We don't sit praying. We don't sit praying, and we see the enemy carrying Lot away. Carrying Lot and his family and people that they have kidnapped, carrying their destinies away. And we just sit in one place, just praying. And then we wonder why the results are never coming. And so God was telling me from that chapter, which I wrote in that book, that you have to train the servants. And you don't train them on the day of battle, which is preparation. He said he had trained those servants when there was no battle. On the day of battle, he just took them to the battlefield and came back with results.
Beautiful.
Yeah, all we do is in fact, what I explained here is they have a manual that they teach. Once the manual finish, they come and start back. Once they finish, they come and start back again with the same people. They don't listen people. You keep learning the same thing.
Wasting people's lives.
Just wasting people's lives and wasting people's time. And the society is waiting, as the Bible says that creation is waiting for the manifestation of the Son of God, who are never manifesting.
Wow.
Creation is waiting, but we are never manifesting. I'm in the Lord now since 2009. This is 10 years today. And can you imagine that it is now that I'm getting to my feet? Whereas all I'm doing now with God is sports.
Yes.
And then set me on fire, and I continue to go on my journey.
Just like people in Ukraine, in the next 6 months after salvation, they're already doing big things.
You see, they keep you in the same place and they call you potential teacher. You never be a teacher. You're always the potential. 10 years you're a potential teacher. They just pin my legs down, but I'm grateful that I have come to life. And God decided to help me. But right now, I am beginning to prepare most of my things that I'm going to do, and thank God for the wisdom. But I have some things I want to share this so that you can help me presently you are talking about church, but I don't have a burden for church, but I have a burden for the land.
Yes.
And particularly in Cameroon here, we have a problem. If you want to build a bridge to help the people, you must go and submit a contract to government.
Yes.
And when you submit it to government and submit the resources, you will never see that bridge. And if you try it to do it by yourself, you have a jail. A jail is waiting.
Yeah.
For you. So I don't know the strategy I can use in my nation, because having made a list of the problems, and I will definitely have to read that book, How to Get Money for Your Dreams, because I will need a lot of money.
Yeah, and also you need to get the book about process also. What you just said about your country submitting projects, that is very similar to here. It's called bureaucracy. And you will enjoy my books about how we are able to overcome all kinds of bureaucracy. But the key is this: don't start with trying to build a bridge. Never do that. Try first of all to sow in the hearts of men the vision that you of building that bridge. Sow that vision into the heart of 2 or 3 people in the city. By the time that vision is spread among the people you are sowing the vision in that city, there is somebody that knows somebody who is the one giving the permission for that bridge to be built.
Yeah.
So when you sow into men find solutions without even you struggling.
Okay. So in my case now, that I don't want to start a church.
It shouldn't be a church.
All of this.
Like now, I am influencing you. You are right in Africa. I don't have a church there. You are not a member of my church. I never saw you. I don't know you. But I'm influencing you. The same thing.
Yes.
Jesus never started a church, but he was, influencing people. It's about people. It's not about church.
Okay. And then another thing I've experienced is, like now I'm writing my books, but somebody told me that I should wait. I should just write and pile. I should not publish until they are tested, like until many years, because I may have to review. I don't understand that I write the book and then I don't publish. I wait for many years before I publish. I don't know what you have to say about that.
Follow your spirit, follow your heart, and make sure that you build the process. You make sure that you build a system and a process of getting the book to the people, so that you don't just write it and nobody reads it.
Okay. Because what I do presently is that I circulate it in soft copy so that people read before I ever print.
Well, you need to build a system. So you need to get the book on process and on money, and then another book will soon come on system.
Okay. Thank God. Okay. I'm grateful, DSA. And Dr. Anu, thank you too for your efforts.
Thank you.
It's not going for nothing. We are going to take Africa back. DSA, once you land in Nigeria, I'm going to come for the training.
All right. We have people coming from all over the world, from Europe, from America. So Africa also will be welcome to join our team in Africa.
I would have loved to come. I will send an invite, but I do not have the resources to come. So
I'm saying when I get to Nigeria, you'll be welcome to join our team in Nigeria as well.
Yes. Because what you're doing in Nigeria needs to come to Cameroon too.
Yes.
So we are going to come and carry the fire and bring it.
That's the spirit.
Thank you very much.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What's the name? Derek. Thank you so much, Derek.
Yeah. God's grace, JC.
Bye.
Thank you. Wow.
Both Derek and Alfred are from Cameroon.
From Cameroon.
Yeah, Alfred also is from Cameroon originally.
Wow.
So, in fact, somebody used to write on the comment and say that if Nigerians don't want DSA, or they are going to criticize him like that,
Cameroon.
we are going to welcome him in Cameroon.
We'll carry him.
We'll carry him. We'll carry him to Cameroon.
Yeah, but I mean, great callers, great questions, great contributions. I don't know if we still have callers. Do we still have? Okay, we don't have any. All right, so thank you so much, our viewers. I mean, Friday, pastoring without tears is always, mind blowing. I mean, not just I'm not saying for you. I'm talking about me seated here, who hosts this show. So I don't know if it's mind blowing for you. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what is going through your mind. But for me, seated here in the studio, it is always a memorable moment. So much illumination, so much enlightenment, so much strength that is built within, so much light, you know, understanding at its peak. And I really hope that is your experience. But like Dr. Sunday always says, that don't think and don't believe that you've gotten it. And I agree with him. You might have to share this video so that you can save a copy for yourself, and you could listen to it again and again. And also you could go to his YouTube channel, that is Dr. Sunday Adelaja, or you could see these videos there or always. So just go search for the Pastoring Without Tears playlist and listen to the video as many times as you desire, so you can inculcate everything that is being taught. Thank you for being with us today. My name is Anu Ojo, and we'll see you next week Friday on Pastoring Without Tears, 7 p.m. Kiev time, 5 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. European time and Nigerian time. Over to Dr. Sunday for his final words.
Yes, thank you so much everyone for being with us today. I will be back in the next 10-15 minutes to continue my series on the church, how to know God through the church. That is steering the table in its own way over there, and I'm sure that people have been blessed as well. So we'll be happy to see you in the next few minutes. If you have not yet registered for the History Makers training that's coming up in the next 2 weeks from the 8th to the 12th of April, maybe you can still make it. Write to hmt@godembassy.org or go to sundayadelajablog.com/hmt. This is my latest book. It's called Process is as Important as Result, or Process is the New Result. Go get it on Amazon for pre-order and price right now, sales price. And also, if you want to be receiving our messages on WhatsApp or telephone, send your telephone number to our number, and our number is +38 098 596 3838. So if you send your number to us, we'll be sending our messages to you on a daily basis. I will see you in the next 10 minutes. Peace.